Alright, so my birthday was a couple days ago, and I asked my boyfriend like a week before to get me a carrot cake. While I know it's not a popular choice for a birthday cake, it's my favorite and practically the only flavor of cake I like. Besides red velvet, but I wasn't feeling it, to be honest. Keeping in mind that I was gonna have a birthday party with my friends, my boyfriend suggested that I get a flavor that people like, which I'd understand maybe if it was a huge party with tons of people, but I know my friends, and I know they wouldn't mind carrot cake at all. Edit. Should clarify, I told him that my friends would be fine with carrot cake and to get it anyways. Anyways, fast forward to my birthday. My boyfriend goes and gets the cake from the shop in the afternoon, and I don't get to see it since I'm getting ready. But he doesn't mention anything to me about it, so I think nothing of it since I like a surprise. My friends arrive and everything's going great until it's time for the cake to be served. We gather around the table and everyone sings happy birthday while my boyfriend brings out the cake. And to my horror, I see this big chocolate cake in his hands. I hate chocolate cake. It makes me sick. He knows I hate chocolate cake. My face fell when I saw it, but I obvs didn't say anything at the time. However, I did give my BF a glare or two, which he clearly picked up on since he kept insisting I eat the cake in front of everyone as we were serving it out. Something about that made me angry in the moment, and I refused to try the cake at all. I cut it. I blew out the candles. I handed it out to everyone, but I didn't try it myself. I don't think the others took huge notice, but once the party ended, I started getting unready when my boyfriend comes into our room and is Lyle, "Why do you have to act like a child all the time?" And I'm like, "What the hell?" And he's like, "You have to make a scene just because I didn't get your carrot cake." And he went on about how nobody likes carrot cake and how I'm spoiled and selfish and looked stupid not eating cake at my own birthday, and then claimed he couldn't find carrot cake, which is crazy because 1, I've never not gone to that shop and not seen carrot cake, and 2, even if there wasn't any, he could have picked any other flavor, besides the only one I hate. I told him that, and he just got really upset, like I was the one who started the fight and started going on AB. How I was overreacting over cake, and how he tried his best to make this B-Day good for me. Which, in fairness, is true since he put a lot of effort into organizing it for me. But honestly, I was just livid then. Now we're still kinda off about it, and neither of us have Lyle apologized or anything, but I'm starting to think I did overreact over cake, and I probably should have just eaten it and then talked to him later. But I don't know.
My wife has been unemployed for the past 6 years, which was totally fine with me. During that time, we had 2 children, and she was their full-time caregiver while I worked. The balance worked really well for us. A few months ago, though, she started picking up odd jobs for some extra cash, and it quickly evolved into a full-time business role with multiple clients. I'm incredibly proud of her. She built an entire company from nothing, and it's been amazing to see how successful she's become in such a short time. When her work started to take off, we discussed finances. We agreed that since she was now generating income and taking on new expenses like childcare, a new laptop, etc., she would contribute most of her earnings toward our household. Specifically, we agreed she would keep $200 a week for herself and contribute the rest to our shared account. For reference, I personally set aside only about $30 a week for myself for small luxuries. However, she hasn't really stuck to that plan. Recently, we discussed getting a new dog, which I was hesitant about because it would require dipping into our savings. She assured me it wouldn't be a problem. She said she had plenty of money set aside to cover the cost of the puppy, supplies, etc. I questioned how that was possible, considering she was supposedly only keeping $200 a week. And I knew she had already spent most of that weekly allowance on hair, makeup, clothes, and other personal expenses. When I brought it up, she pushed back, saying she shouldn't have to contribute that much because it was her money, and she was already contributing hundreds toward our shared expenses. For context, she's earned around $9,000 over the past few months and has contributed roughly half of that. I tried explaining that I contribute thousands and I only give myself a very modest allowance. So why shouldn't she follow the same idea? Her argument is that I earn more than she does, so she feels she should be allowed to keep more of her income for herself. Am I wrong here? Am I the asshole? Edit. A few people have asked about housework. It used to be about an 80-20 split with her doing the majority. Now it's more like 60-40.
Okay. So, like last weekend, my mom threw a little family get together at our house because it was her birthday. Nothing crazy, just cousins and stuff. I decided to bake cupcakes the night before. I'm not a professional baker or anything, but they came out super good, to be honest. Anyways, I made like 24 cupcakes and put them out on a tray on the counter. I specifically told everyone that they were for after dinner because my mom wanted to do a candle thing with them instead of a regular cake. So my brother, he's 22, shows up with his girlfriend, who nobody really knows that well because they've been dating for like 2 months. She's nice, I guess, but a little pushy. Like she acts like she's already part of the family or whatever. I don't know. Fast forward, we're all just hanging out, and I see her just straight up grabbing a cupcake off the tray. I go over and I'm like, "Hey, can you pals wait till after dinner? My mom wants to do candles with them." And she kind of just stares at me like I'm crazy and goes, "It's just one." I said, "Yeah, but they're for later." And she literally rolled her eyes at me and put it back after taking a bite. So now that one's ruined, obviously. My brother got mad and pulled me aside later saying I was rude and made her feel unwelcome, and it's not a big deal. But it wasn't just about the cupcake. It was about the whole plan. My mom said I didn't do anything wrong, but some of my cousins said I should have just let it go because family first. And now my brother's still being weird with me. So I don't know. Am I the AH?